I know that all sounds like a lot. Let's take a look at some pictures so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about here. Okay, so this shot is from Nitpicks, and you've got parallel lines from your skeins that are all together. You've created sameness because you've got 4 skeins that are exactly the same. And you've got parallel lines from the wood in the background. And you've created a 90-degree angle by placing your yarn directly at a 90 degree to these lines of the wood. So we've got like several all going on here. And that's exactly what you want to do, is to use several of these ideas and throw them in the pot together as a recipe to mix together to create a dynamic image. Right here we've got sameness. We've got all of these little balls of yarn that are all in the same shape, and they are we've got circles that not only are they circles, but they're creating a circle in the center. Right here we've got parallel lines with our 2 yarns right here, and we've got juxtaposition because we've got our smooth shiny yarns with our bunch of flowers over here. It still creates balance because we've got an object on this side and an object on this side to fill in the frame. Here, I love this shot in so many ways. Okay, so we have got parallel lines from the wood. We have got parallel lines from these 2 right here, but also 90-degree angles. I love how the squares are not exactly lined up, but then we're just juxtaposing our squares with our circular balls of yarn. And we're also juxtaposing our colors. So we've got the cream and the gray and the black and the tweed all together. Again, we've got parallel lines right here, balanced out with our juxtaposition of the flowers. But we've also got sameness because we're pulling the colors from these into our flowers over here. This one is a very graphic sort of photo. You've got your parallel lines from your wood in the background that are at a 90-degree angle to the frame. You've got your sameness for all of your bunches of yarn that are all laid out together. And you're repeating it in this interesting shape. But you'll notice they made a triangle with their squares. So balancing the squares with the triangles and everything. Again, this is Nitpicks. I love to look at Nitpicks pictures because their marketing department does a fantastic job of these flat lays. Again, this is Nitpicks, and we've got 90-degree angles of these 2 skeins against these 2 skeins against these 2 skeins. We've got our 45-degree angles, or our slightly less than 45-degree angles in the lines of these balls right here, which is fantastic. We've got the very subtle lines of the wood. All of that is wonderful. Okay, here we've got a couple of things going on. First of all, we've got a big circle, which adds interest. We're juxtaposing the big circle with our smaller hanks of yarn. And to fill up our frame, we've created a triangle between the plant and the circle and our 2 hanks of yarn. So we've got a triangle here, we've got a circle right here, and we've got a large object juxtaposed with smaller objects. Okay, I kind of drew this one for you and it was in my head. That we've got our parallel lines from the wood grain going this direction. And notice how it is very lined up with the edge of the picture frame. We've got our large object in the center, juxtaposed with our smaller objects around the edge. But I want you to really pay attention to, when I say parallel, that it's not just straight up and down. Watch how these little objects follow the curve of the hat and how that is parallel to this curve. Even the leaf on this flower is kind of parallel to the curve of that hat. And I just love this shot for all of those reasons. The juxtaposing opposites of the little objects with the big hat, the juxtaposing the flower with the yarn, creating sameness with using the same colors in here. Everything beautiful. They just took all of the things and kind of threw it in there, and made a beautiful image out of it. Okay, here we've got our 45-degree angle. We've got our 90-degree angles of the lines in this square box here. And then we've almost got our circles as they fit inside these little cubbies, which is very, very interesting. Here we've got our circles, and we're repeating sameness with the same size of the circles, but they're all lined up at a 45-degree angle. And this one, I think we'll end on this one because I love this one so much. This is a Knit Picks picture again. We've got our lines from the wood. We've got our skeins that are changing color as they go. They're all lined up in parallel lines, perfect parallel lines, but we're juxtaposing the difference of the colors very gradually. We're juxtaposing the long skeins with the small round coffee cups that are lined up at a 45-degree angle, their handles, and repeating the sameness of having the same color of the coffee inside here. This is such a beautiful, incredible photograph. Okay, did you get all of that? I know it's a lot, and I know that it may not make sense at first while you're doing this, but the more layouts that you practice and you take photos and you move things and you rearrange and you see what works and see what you like, and the more photos, good photos that you look at and that you really pay attention to, the better that your photography is going to be. All right, so that's really all we've got for today. If you are ready to take your business to the next level and you want to really kickstart your sales, go ahead and click the link in the description below to my personal business coach's 3-part video series on creating an incredible product line. I know you won't regret it because it totally changed my business, and I know it can change yours too. And with that, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.